The most common sight in every commercial gym is a man over 35, slightly overweight, grinding away on a treadmill for an hour looking miserable. He's doing what he was told. To lose weight, you have to do cardio. But at the end of the year, he looks exactly the same, just a smaller version of the same soft guy. Today we're ending the confusion, right? We're gonna look at the metabolic ROI of cardio versus strength training. By the time we finish this briefing, you'll know exactly how to spend your 3 hours a week to maximize fat loss and protect your hard-earned muscle. We aren't here to exercise. We're here to produce, and we're here to produce weight. We're here to produce results. I'm a retired Special Warfare Combat Crewman Senior Chief. In my world, we were cardio kings by necessity. We ran, we swam, we paddled, but I saw a reoccurring pattern in those boat teams, the skinny fat operator. In the SWCC community, we have a lot of guys who are cardio beasts. It's almost a point of pride. I remember one guy in my unit, let's call him Vegas. This guy was a rabbit, right? He could clock an 18-mile, 3-mile, or 18-minute 3-mile without breaking a sweat. If you looked at his run time on paper, you'd think he was the fittest guy in the detachment. But there was a disconnect. Despite running 40 miles a week, Vegas still had that gut. He was skinny fat, thin arms, narrow shoulders, but carrying that soft tire around his midsection. He fell into that old selection mentality. He thought the answer to that belly fat was just more miles, more running, more pavement pounding. The reality of his lack of structural integrity hit home during a heavy extract in a remote riverine environment. We weren't just driving boats that day, right? We were manhandling gear, hauling heavy ammo cans, and eventually we had to move a downed teammate across some seriously unstable terrain. While the guys who spent time under a squat rack were moving like tanks, Vegas started the red line. He had the engine to run for days. But he had no chassis to support the load. His lower back gave out, his knees locking up, and he was physically collapsing under a load that a man of his fitness level should have been able to handle, right? He had zero power. He was an elite runner who was a tactical liability the moment the mission required raw strength and stability. All those miles had stripped away his muscle and left him with nothing but high cortisol and chronic pain. I saw it in him, and eventually I saw it in myself. I spent decades running my joints into the dirt, thinking that sweat equity on the pavement was the only way to stay lean. When I transitioned to the business world and that executive 20 pounds crept on, I didn't question the plan, I just went back to what I knew. I laced up the shoes, started running, and it failed me. I was getting smaller and softer, but the gut stayed. It stayed put, and my joints felt like they were filled with glass. I had to stop being a runner. I had to start being a student of the actual physiology of fat oxidation. I had to learn why my body was clinging to fat because of the stress I was putting on it. Through parallel performance, I teach the 3-hour hero method, which prioritizes building a metabolic furnace. Metabolic furnace through strength and recovery over the soul-crushing, muscle-wasting treadmill grind. We want you powerful, not just tired. Cardio is like renting fat loss. You pay the price, that hour on the treadmill, and the benefits stops the second you step off. Strength training is like owning fitness. You're building muscle, expensive tissue that charges you rent, calories, just to exist. EPOC, the afterburn effect, right? So explaining the science of excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. After a heavy strength session, your metabolism stays elevated for about 36 to 48 hours as it repairs muscle tissue. A cardio session's metabolic spike is gone in 30 minutes. The cortisol trap. Why chronic cardio, which is the long, boring jogs, drives up cortisol in men over 35. High cortisol plus low testosterone equals belly fat storage. You've been told to burn calories. I'm telling you to build an engine. If you only focus on burning calories, your body will actually sacrifice muscle to become more efficient at cardio. It becomes a smaller, slower engine. In the 3-hour hero method, we don't want to be efficient at burning energy. We want to be a gas guzzler. We want a body that burns calories while we're sitting in boardrooms, sitting in board meetings, or sleeping, right? Here's my question of the day for you guys. How many of you actually run yourself into the ground only to see no change in your waistline? Drop a treadmill in the comments if you're ready to trade those running shoes for some iron. Hit the like button if you're ready for more efficient ways to train. So here's the tactical priority list for fat loss. Strength training, the foundation. 3 days a week. Focus on compound lifts to keep that V8 engine running. NEAT, which is the secret weapon. 10,000 steps. This is non-stressful movement that burns fat without spiking cortisol. Nutrition, the fuel. High protein to protect the muscle you're building. Conditioning, the finisher. 10 minutes of high intensity work at the end of a lift. We don't do cardio, we do metabolic conditioning. So, starting the week, here's your mission for the week. Phase 1, stop the hour-long cardio sessions. Phase 2, replace them with 3 45-minute total body strength sessions where you squat, you hinge, you push, you pull. Phase 3, get your 10 to 15,000 steps in. That's your cardio for the week. It's low impact, high return on investment. Day 8 is about working smarter, not just harder, right? We aren't cadets anymore. We're strategists. Do you want to be that guy who is skinny, fat, or exhausted, or the man who's lean, powerful, and ready for any mission life throws at him? Build the furnace. Tomorrow for day 9, we're diving into the 15-minute recovery hack for high stress careers. I'm going to show you how to tactically reset your nervous system in the middle of a chaotic workday. I'm retired Special Warfare Combat Crewman SWCC Senior Chief. Subscribe and ring the bell. If you're ready to stop the treadmill grind and start building real power, book a call at the link below. Out here. Salute.